Excuse me. So a gentleman calls me up. I guess I've left my number somewhere on the internet, and people call me on my phone and ask me questions about Bang & Olufsen turntables because I've become quite the Svengali with the turntables. I'm not the best. I'm certainly not the worst. What's the worst is not seeing my daughter at all. I wish I could somehow see her or we had a relationship. I just don't know what to do about this anymore. Anyway, so as you can see, this is called Mohawk, and they're called fill sticks. So what he was driving at, the gentleman who called me at 9 in the morning from Arizona, so I give him credit because that means it's 6 a.m. his time, and he's rip-roaring to get ready to work on the turntable. Okay, so first of all, you want to get rid of any of the extra kind of rough and stuff here, right? So you kind of just keep getting rid of the excess chafe. You have a nice smooth surface here, right, on both sides. I'll try to zoom in on it a little bit. That's not quite very. Saying how am I holding it up? I'm using this thing over here called helping hands, and it's just really gently held up. I should have it on this side, but I just didn't start over there. I started here. So anyway, here we go. Let's try to see what we can figure out. This is his first question. I have a big chip in my trim. You can find them in different forms. Sometimes they're the teak, sometimes they're a rosewood, but it is only a veneer. So it's like a chipboard that has a veneer on top of it. Right? So you kind of want to get it down to that stage. Hold on. Apologize for the break. I should have paused it. Anyway, so the Mohawk fill sticks, you look at the fill stick to see what the background looks like, right? Does that look pretty good? It looks pretty good to me. That's pretty close. Maybe that's better. I think that's better, right? So, not bad, you know. Make a note on which side is up. Usually they get banged on the bottom, right? So this would be the bottom of the turntable here, and this would be the dust cover up on this side. Okay, now I've kind of zoomed out too much. Let me go back. Okay, so what you do here is first turn off any fans that are blowing air on you, right? And take a lighter and just kind of melt it. Make sure you're working over somewhere where that you can, you know, mess up, because it's like candle wax. Okay, and you put a good coat of it on there. Okay, don't let it run too much. Okay, kind of just gum it up a bit and build it up if it needs to be built up. That's why you don't want it too melted, because it just literally runs off the material that you're working on. So in this case, I'm working on the edge of this. This has been sitting on my wall for such a long time. I've decided I'd just give a quick demonstration on how to use it. Now, you'd like to use something that's kind of stiff, okay? A credit card works well. Don't use anything metal unless you're super careful. But, you know, you just kind of press it down a little bit as it's getting dry and soft. I'm sorry, it's getting from soft to being dry. Okay. I didn't quite get it there. We're going to get it. It takes a couple of times, and if you haven't done it before, don't worry about it. Work on the piece of material you're working on, because it's only wax, and you can just scrape it off and try again. So you're not going to mess up the material. Something else to remember, as you're melting the wax, I like a jet flame lighter, because it really makes it melt quick, and that way it allows me to apply it. I don't have to like sit and wait for it, and it melts it right over where I'm looking to get the work done. This is not the credit card I should be using. I couldn't find it right away, so I'm just kind of putting it in here. Okay, I'm going to pause the video, and we'll come right back. Okay, so we're back. We're going to see how it turns out. I was looking at the card. This card is flexing really hard. You can see how it's too flexible. If you're working on a space on a piece of wood or furniture where you have a large gap, like more than an inch, which you can do, I would not recommend using a cart, because when you try to apply any pressure, it really, can bend, and you'll never really get a good true spot. So I'm using, here's the back end of a knife. Like this, I think, is just like a kind of low quality steak knife, or maybe it's not low quality, but anyway, let's get back to it. So as you can see, I'm trying to just scrape back here. Okay, and I want to make this edge square. It's tough when you're right on the end, because I'm going to go back to this. It's a little, I thought that might be better. And I kind of go with a sawing motion at the side. Okay, I'm really trying to do this real fast, because normally I would take just a lot of time doing it. Okay, so now that I've got kind of the color lined up, and that looks good. It's not bad. It's not as good as I'd like. Probably could get it better, but I'm not going to... Yeah, I definitely can get it better, without question. It's not square on the edge here. Use your finger to kind of smooth it. Okay. And then I want to look at the lines. For some reason, I can't find my black pen from this. This had a black pen set. So I'm going to use the darkest one that I have. Okay. And I try to trace the line. Unfortunately, I didn't get the corner as square as I'd like to. Like, it's not as square as this. I have a bunch of them. I'll show you later. I mean, it literally had a gouge out of a speaker that was bigger than my thumb. You see how big my thumb is, right? I mean, okay. So you kind of go with the grain, add some grain if maybe to bring a different look to it. Unfortunately, I can't find the black pen that I had, and then I kind of tap it with my finger a bit. I wouldn't recommend using like any type of solvent on it, like not Ajax, but like Windex to clean it. I mean, use Murphy's oil soap to add, a nice shine to the whole piece. Okay, I didn't get it completely square. I'm just trying to rush job it, unfortunately. Okay. And, that's basically kind of how I repair like cracks. And if I take a lot of time with it, which I normally do, it comes back really good. All right, so if I now go ahead and now as you can see over here, I have another one to do, which I will do in just a little bit. So be very careful. Don't wipe away your hard work that you did. If you look at it in the light really, bright, yes, you'll see it. I mean, gee whiz, that's about it. But you can see from where I was to where it is, unless you're really looking for it, you kind of won't notice it. But I add the line, that I did here. I look at it, I kind of try to chase the line, and then I give it a little touch with your finger. Get rid of any extra, wax that's on the board, on the piece of wood. And there is that one. Okay. If you don't have the ability to do it, call me, send it to me, I'll do it for you. For a very small fee. Or if you have turntables that you want to have fixed, please call me. I think just send me a text message. I can't keep people to call me because it's in the early morning phone call. Someone who calls me up early can be rough. But so there's that. There you go. Okay, I'm going to add the very end here. We'll call this the bonus footage. So again, I didn't list the products very well. It's Mohawk fill stick, right? You can buy one or two, probably for $10, something like that. I believe I paid close to $40 for the whole set because I'm repairing speakers as well. I have a number of them, and some of them came really damaged. Trying to fight with USPS and the customer, and if you're using eBay, you'll end up spending so much more time usually with a non-result. You won't get any money back. So if it's, I didn't, and I've had a couple of problems, one turntable coming from France, speakers coming from Oklahoma, just got trashed. They even broke the stand. I mean, it's made of metal, and it broke. So, the Mohawk fill stick, I don't know which ways I'm going to send the video, but this is it. Okay, and just buy the set. Look it up online. You're better off buying it from the company. That's it. This, which I used to create the wood grain on top of the wax buildup that I made for the wood to fill the wood. I create the wood grain with Verathane. Okay, this I believe I bought at Home Depot. I had to have been about 20-something bucks or something. You could probably, just use a Sharpie, when it comes down to it. But I was really in the mood. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I got the best here. So that's it. They work well. And what I was using was Old English, okay, not Murphy's oil soap. This is what I was wiping onto the wood. And it works very well. It really makes the material and the wood look really good. I like it very much. And it doesn't just kind of dry up and go away. It stays there for a while, And so there, I'm just adding that. Okay. And if I really look in on it, yes, you'll see it. There's no question about it. But it's tough to. But if you go like this, you see it like you have to be dead on it to really see it. That's actually not too. Why is it not focusing? It is. My phone is really a piece of junk. I stopped following the trend of I gotta buy the latest thing as soon as it comes out. And now here is the next one that I will do. Okay, and this looks a little bigger. It'll come out fine. There you go. I just wanted to add this to the video so you know what products I'm using. The next that he wants me to explain to him or how to do is when you have a cracked hood at the hinge, and that will be the next video. Okay. Hi, Hannah.